system was successfully joined with an artificial
Yo
intelligence.
guys, I know you clicked this video to find some epic RTS games to flex that big brain of yours. Whether you are sinking hours in solo or grinding all night with the homies, here is the ultimate list to ruin your life.
We're losing a munitions point to enemy action.
Dude, if you're into World War II stuff, we gotta talk about Company of Heroes 3. Relic took that classic, gritty, tactical feel we loved and cranked it up. The dynamic campaign map is wild. It honestly feels a bit like a Total War game where you're just slowly taking over Italy. And man, the destruction physics? Absolutely insane. Buildings literally crumble mid-firefight, totally wrecking your cover when you least expect it. It's definitely not one of those games where you just spam tanks until you win. You actually have to flank, play smart with your armor, and drop artillery at the exact right second. I know it had a rough launch, but honestly, after all the recent patches, it's sitting in a really sweet spot. You should totally give it a shot. Totally.
Let's get started.
While we're young.
Enemy riflemen have engaged!
While it requested territory from the enemy.
Damnation! The sector's in enemy hands.
Send support! We're taking heavy losses!
Here, underground.
Roger that.
Okay, so we are heading into the sand with Homeworld deserts of Kharak. I know, a ground-based prequel to a legendary space RTS sounds weird, but trust me, it completely nails that epic, isolated vibe. You basically command this gigantic land carrier. It acts as your mobile base while you are cruising across these insanely gorgeous, sweeping dunes. The scale here is just off the charts, man. You will be sending out little buggies to scout while heavy cruisers just unleash absolute hell from the ridges. And terrain actually matters a ton.
Ready.
Holding the high ground gives you a huge tactical edge in a firefight. Plus, the story is genuinely fantastic and sucks you right in. It's such an amazing hidden gem that still holds up perfectly today. Seriously, don't sleep on this one.
Anti-air turret under fire.
Railgun operational. Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
Strategic position secured.
At your command.
Now, if you want something way more intense, check out Call to Arms Gates of Hell Ostfront. This one is strictly for my hardcore World War II nerds who crave raw, gritty realism. Forget typical base building. It's all about micromanaging squads and using real tactics on the Eastern Front. The absolute best part? The direct control feature. You can literally just take third-person control of any soldier, tank, or artillery piece on the map. Need a tank shell perfectly placed? Just do it yourself, dude. The sound design is crazy immersive. Every single skirmish feels incredibly lethal and super dangerous. Seeing tanks blow apart while infantry scramble through the mud in panic is wild. If you love deep, tactical micro, this game will absolutely blow your mind right now.
Our reinforcements are here.
Man, let's talk about a huge blast of pure nostalgia with Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition. If you played the original back in the day, you already know how insanely addictive this castle simulator is. They finally gave it a gorgeous visual glow-up, but kept that exact same classic gameplay we all fell in love with. You're out there building massive medieval fortresses in the desert, managing your peasant economy, and surviving these crazy huge sieges. Hearing those old voice lines again, hits so hard, bro. Plus, they threw in some brand new campaigns and full online multiplayer. That means you can finally crush your friends in a proper siege without having to mess around with ancient router settings. It's honestly the perfect excuse to revisit an absolute masterpiece today.
الحصان سليم.
Shifting gears to pure fantasy, we have Total War Warhammer 3. Dude, this game is just ridiculously massive now. Jump into the Immortal Empires mode, and you're looking at the biggest grand strategy map ever made. It literally combines all three games into one gigantic chaotic sandbox. You want to play as vampire pirates? Go for it. Chaos demons? Sure. Heavy armored bears riding into battle? Obviously. The sheer variety of factions is insane, and they all play so differently. Managing your giant empire on the map is fun, but zooming in to watch a massive dragon completely roast 1,000 tiny infantry units in real time? That never, ever gets old. It's a total time sink, but easily the best fantasy strategy experience you can grab right now.
Without it. Earth, come out.
Next is an absolute legend that you just can't ignore. Supreme Commander. I know it's a bit older, but seriously, nothing else out there matches the ridiculous scale of this game. You start with one chunky robot commander and end up building a base that covers half a damn continent. We're not talking about managing a few tiny squads here. You're commanding thousands of units across land, sea, and air all at once. Zooming all the way out until your units are just tiny blips on a radar makes you feel like an actual general in a war room. When things pop off with experimental units and nukes flying across the map, it's just glorious chaos. Plus, the community is still super active for huge multiplayer matches today. Speaking of massive scale, let's talk about Beyond All Reason. This is a total passion project inspired by those older classic strategy games, and get this, it's completely free and open source. But don't let the price tag fool you, man. This game has some of the crispest unit physics and most satisfying explosions I've ever seen. You'll be managing thousands of robots, balancing an infinite economy, and basically painting the map with laser and artillery fire. Since all the projectiles are fully simulated in real time, using hills and valleys to your advantage is super clutch. The dev team updates it constantly, and it even handles gigantic team games without breaking a sweat. If you crave pure, strategic chaos with zero paywalls, go download this right now. Now let's check out something perfect for anyone missing that golden era of base building. Tempest Rising. This game basically looked at classic 90s heavy hitters like Command and Conquer, grabbed the best elements, and slapped on stunning modern graphics. It has that perfect loop of building up power plants, training goofy infantry, and rolling columns of tanks straight into enemy lines. The two main factions play completely differently, and that whole aesthetic with red vines growing everywhere gives it such a dope sci-fi vibe. The combat is really aggressive and fast-paced, so you definitely can't just turtle up and relax. It's just an amazing throwback. It feels wonderfully nostalgic, but plays smooth enough to hook any modern strategy gamer instantly. You've got to try it out. Moving on, we've got Rogue Command. And guys, this one is doing something so wildly different, it actually mashes up traditional RTS base building with roguelike mechanics and deck building. Yeah, I know it sounds super weird, but it totally works. Every single run throws random units and buildings at you. So you constantly have to adapt, and invent crazy synergy combos on the fly. One run you're spamming basic mechs. The next you're relying entirely on weird energy sniper towers. They even threw in a slick slow motion feature so you can pause the chaos and micro your units perfectly. Because everything is completely randomized, you can replay this endlessly. It's incredibly fresh, surprisingly tough, and a super fun twist on the genre today.
After England defeated the French at the Battle of Bremule,
Finally, we got to talk about Age of Empires 4.
besieged the castle.
Look, if you want a top-tier competitive experience with a massive active player base, this is straight up the ultimate choice right now. Microsoft took everything that made the second game a legendary masterpiece and modernized it beautifully. You get to guide real historical empires through different ages, juggling your gold and food while throwing up massive stone walls. The sound design alone is mind-blowing. You can literally hear armies screaming from across the map before they even show up on screen. The factions like the Mongols or the English play so uniquely compared to the older games. It's super easy for beginners to pick up, but deep enough to keep hardcore veterans hooked on ranked matches.